let's finally talk about you. I know you know all the Pomodoro techniques, the 60-20 rule, whatever that rule, all these techniques, you know every single one of them, but do those work for you? Are these techniques the most appropriate, effective to the type of learner that you are? Because I know YouTubers, including myself, all right, like the past few videos, I've been throwing techniques and techniques, shoving this in your face and this in your face, but I've never sat down and really thought, hey, what type of learner are you? So here are the 5 type of learners that you might be, and here are the respective exam techniques for each type of learner you are. And if you're just like me, I'm a bit stupid, so I'm like all these learners. Some days this technique works the best, some days this technique works the best, sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that, and I'm stuttering and shit. But just alright, just stick around because I will explain that type of learner and which techniques will work best for you. So hear me out. The first person we're going to begin with is the visual learner. The visual learner is the type of person who finds it easiest to learn with images, charts, and stuff like that, right? And me personally, I find it so much easier when I watch like a YouTube video running, going back on a topic that I have no idea about, right? It'd be like after physics class, what is relativity? But then I go back on YouTube, look at the videos, like going through all these diagrams and charts examples. I just find it so much easier to learn. So some revision techniques for this topic is actually to just rewatch your lectures if they record it. But actually what you can do is you can watch these specific concepts that you're learning, like, I don't know, the sperm cell in biology. Watch it on YouTube, just rewatch it, and it would be like 200% more effective if you're a visual learner. So I highly recommend that. But on top of that, you should be using your highlighter like your best friend. You're a visual learner, so you like visual appealing things. You like aesthetics, you like, I don't know, whatever. You like to make your desk all beautiful and clean, I guess. But basically, you want to use a highlighter, highlight all the important notes, so in the exam, it will recall to you much faster than someone who is a different type of learner. And what you can also do is, I think you're well aware of active recall, you're well aware of flashcards, but what can a visual learner do with this? And basically what you can do is you can add visual images, like, you know, for every, like, I don't know, definition and term, add an image. So when you're revising, you can easily like refer back to these things. But if you aren't much of a visual learner, then you might be a auditorial learner. Here's some examples, right? Say you learn best when a teacher re-explains a concept to you, when you watch a YouTube video and listen, when you have discussions with your friends on certain topics, or even podcasts. You just love listening to them because you can absorb information that way, like audiobooks or whatever. So here's the first step I want you to do. Is to form study groups with your friends or whatever. But the main key idea is, I want to say is, if you have a study group, I want you to be that friend. Be that friend to keep your friends on track, because it's my last year of school. Like, I think I have 4 weeks left. And I have never like formed a proper study group, because every time we just end up going to food, we end up going shopping, we end up eating, we end up playing games. Like, it's easy to get distracted. So I want you to be that friend to be able to lead your group sort of in that study sense. Now this is another technique for auditorial learners, right? My scholar homies Madav and Sandra told me that you can actually record yourself on your phone. Record yourself explaining a certain concept that has like been on your head the longest time. Trying to explain it, like, this is not only using the Feynman technique, but you're just explaining it to the thing, and you can play it while you're on the train, you're on the bus, instead of listening to music, and you're just playing and constantly like revising this concept, and save you so much time, and is an extremely effective way to study for exams. Now, another extremely effective exam technique that I like to use is called implementation. I say this in my video, but basically, like, it's just practice tests. Just practice problems, see your mistakes, practice again and again and again. And that is mostly effective for our hands-on learners. Hands-on learners learn the best when doing practice problems. Now, there's 2 techniques I want you to do, and you must do it if you want like the top grades, right? Because the top students that I learned is they take breaks, and I don't mean like go on your phone a bit, like I mean going outside for a 5-minute walk. Even like if it's raining or something, just go under cover, breathe the air, clear your brain, right? Because you have all that like math stuff in your head, like you're still figuring out E = mc squared. So you want to clear that out of your head, come back in and do more study. And on top of that, another extremely effective exam technique that I don't think anybody has said is, basically today, I actually learned this. So you have a book, right? I don't know how big or small. Have a book or a Notion open up, and during these like practice tests, exam revision like tests, write down and put in all the questions that you don't know how to do. All those questions, put them in the book, put them in your Notion, put them in your phone, and then you can go back and do these revision, and it will be the best thing you've ever done. Because if you just like say, oh yeah, that was wrong, or whatever, let's do the next test, you will never actually improve. You are just working on the knowledge that you already know. You're just testing on the knowledge you already know, and you're not expanding further from that. And in the exam, they will kill you. They will ask you the most random shit and you will not able to understand. And that's probably why you see yourself or other students walk out of like tests and exams, be like, bro, that wasn't in the study design. That wasn't part of what I studied. That's not what the teacher taught us. It was probably in that practice test that you did. It was probably there, and the connections could have been made if you actually went back and revised. And despite all that, the answer may actually lie in our reader and writer learners. It's those who find it easiest to learn through textbook. Like you always see that nerd, I don't know, no offense, you always see that nerd on their textbook highlighting every single bit, and it actually works for them. Yeah, they actually get good grades, and you see that, and you actually try it for yourself, and oh my goodness, it works. Some of you may not, because maybe visual learner was more your thing, but that's what they do. Those are called the reader-writer learners. And you have a special power. You have what we call writing it down, and you're learning it, and you're a bitch, right? You do realize that if you write it down maybe 3 to 5 times, right, even 10, you just keep writing down, you will memorize it at the end of the day. You are actually pretty good, because if you read it, write it, read it, write it, read it, write it, you will understand. And this is actually, I could be waffling here. It could be the Feynman technique, like playing its role in your reader-writer type learner. Basically, the exam technique, the kind of tips to become the best reader-writer learner, that person that everyone hates at your school, is to summarize these notes every time. I see students literally copying it down on your textbook, and the reason that won't work, because you're not learning anything, you're not trying to summarize, you're not even trying to read it. So you want to summarize it, keep your notes clean, make the title look really nice, I guess, make it look minimalistic, keep it organized, okay? If you could do all these things, and it's actually not that hard, because I actually have a Notion template, like if you're more of a texter writer, I don't know, texter reader type Pete, I have a free Notion template in the description, like it doesn't even matter, it's in my Discord, everywhere, and you can try it out, see if it works, and maybe all this to you was a waste of time. Addison, I'm all of this, I'm bit of this, I'm bit of that, I've tried every technique you said, I've pretty much like mastered all of this stuff, I just can't get the motivation to do it because I'm just confused. That's fine, man. This is what we call the multimodal learner. I think a lot of people with ADHD actually fits in this category because they find it hard to stick to one thing, right? I think that's how it goes. But basically, multimodal learner finds it easiest to learn with all the techniques. It's like the avatar bending all the fucking bullshit, right? And to really take advantage of being a multimodal learner, be able to use all the techniques, all the bending skills, is to every week, all right? You might be 50% visual learner, but 10, 15, 20, 30 auditorial, all the other ones, okay? So you wanna focus on visual, yeah? And maybe next week or the next day even, or the next hour, try the techniques for another learner. Just come back to this video again and again and see which techniques will work for you at the end. Testing new techniques and testing new things, because you will like new things. Multimodal learners like changing things. They like adapting. They like the new environment. That's why you might find it easier to like study, especially when you like, I don't know, rotate your desk, you change things on your desk. It's just so much easier being a multimodal learner when things just change. So what I want you to do at the end of the video is to really dial in, all right? Just jump into some random ass learner. If you're all of them, just jump into some random one, right? I think not everyone is just one single one. Most people are multimodal anyways. So just jump into one and see how it goes. I think it's really just about closing your eyes, be like, yeah, I'm gonna do work, okay? And then you're gonna do work. And if you need a study group, of course, join me up on my Discord. There's only like 30 members, so it's pretty chill. And yeah, I mean, have a great day, guys. Take care.